Well, guys, I am officially 1 year older today, 24 years old here, June 5th, 2025. Hope you guys are doing well out there today. And the biggest topic for today is going to be significant severe weather, as we are expecting the threat for strong tornadoes possibly today, damaging winds higher than 75 miles per hour, and as well as extremely large hail once again here in the central southern plains area. And we've actually got a severe weather corridor that extends all the way up into New England and up into Maine. So we're going to talk about that, break that down here today. I will mention to you guys now, I am going to do a brief weather update live stream between now and about 1 o'clock this afternoon. I won't be able to do weather coverage tonight. It's my birthday. We're going to be going out. I've got a 5K I'm running this afternoon, and I've got a dinner that we're going out to later on this evening. I will be back on to do weather coverage tonight. It'll be after 9:30 p.m. Central Time. So if there's anything that happens between 3 and 9:30, you guys will either have to watch Connor or find somebody else to watch on social media. So other than that, I'm going to break this forecast down here for you guys. We have severe weather today, significant severe weather today, significant severe weather tomorrow, and on Saturday before we start to end our severe weather trend for going into the rest of June here. We'll talk more about that here in a second as well. But you guys can see on your screen here, we do have showers and thunderstorms ongoing across the United States here this morning. Lots of complex of storms here. We've got a pretty messy setup. That tropical low pressure system, or subtropical / tropical low pressure system off the East Coast here, bringing lots of rainfall to North Carolina, the beaches here. Be mindful of those creeks, rivers, and streams. The water levels out there, they do flood a bit more easier over in those areas there. So that will continue to be a problem in the next couple of days here. Also watching the rip currents, as well as that low pressure does spin, it will allow for waves to be a little bit higher than typical. We've also got showers and storms across the Ohio Valley this morning. That'll be moving out. It'll move away for another round of storms to come through later on this evening. This is going to be our main event today. We have the threat for a gigantic hail higher than 2.5 inches in diameter. A couple tornadoes are also going to be possible. I wouldn't even rule out a couple of strong tornadoes today across those enhanced risk zones and maybe even into the slight risk zone today. We're going to have a battle of outflow boundaries, and I'll talk about that here again in just a second. And that will extend up into Colorado and into portions of western Nebraska. You can see a couple more complexes of rain and showers and storms going through Texas and going through portions of the high plains this morning. So we're going to break all that down here for you guys. I'll go ahead and start out with the Storm Prediction Center outlook here for today. We've got a level 3 enhanced risk. We got 2 level 3 enhanced risk, and I honestly wouldn't be shocked to see SPC kind of extend this down and really just shade this whole area here in an orange enhanced risk. We're going to have to watch this very closely today. These are what we call 50-50 bust days, boom days. I like to say that a lot because this is not, these storms are not off of a cold front or off of a trough. They're off of a dry line. And so there's a lot of error. There's a lot of just different things that can make or break today's setup in terms of there being tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail, but the potential is definitely there for significant severe weather today. And I really want to watch, especially southern Kansas, western Oklahoma Panhandle here, back down into Texas, eastern portions of New Mexico here. Like I said, even getting in Oklahoma City later on tonight. This is going to start around 3 o'clock this afternoon and to go through the overnight hours tonight. So like I said, we'll probably have to do some overnight coverage later on tonight when we get back from my birthday stuff. Tornado risk here for today. We've got a 2% and a 5% tornado risk here for much of the central and southern plains, Oklahoma, Kansas, back down into Texas here and extending out. Wind threat today is also a 30 and a 15 and a 5%. You can see a pretty elongated marginal risk that extends all the way up from the Ohio Valley back up in the north here. This is east here. This is going to be for wind and for hail. Very low end chance for severe weather across the Ohio Valley in the northeast today. We're really going to be more confined to this area right here, where we'll see more significant severe weather later on this afternoon here. And I do want to mention as well, I wouldn't be shocked to see that enhanced risk also get extended closer to Oklahoma City. We're going to have a line of storms that's going to be moving through here later on this evening that could pose the threat for significant damaging winds into the overnight hours. We're going to have to watch that as well. Just a lot of different things, like I said, that are going to make today's system setup a little bit more complex. The biggest thing, though, that we're going to have to watch today is going to be the hail threat. We'd have a 30 and a 15% hatched hail threat for today, meaning hail could exceed 2+ inches in diameter, especially back down here into West Texas, into southwestern Oklahoma, and into western and southwestern portions of Kansas, and even into northern and eastern portions of New Mexico here. So we got a lot of areas under the gun today for severe weather. Level 3 enhanced risk in the double there, 2 of them slight risk in the yellow, and then marginal risk in the green. That's not all, guys. We're going to have more severe weather going into tomorrow, and I've talked about this yesterday. We're going to have 2 MCS days, really technically 3 mesoscale convective scale system days. It's just those lines of complexes of storms that produce the damaging winds, the large hail, and the tornadoes. And I do want to mention tomorrow and Saturday do have derecho potential days. And what a derecho is, it's a line of storms that extends well over a good amount of miles. I'll have to get the definition for you guys in the next video or in the stream this afternoon. But it basically, it's a wall of wind that continues to go over many areas over a long period of time. It causes this significant destruction in terms of the wind threat. It can have embedded tornadoes in it, but mostly it's a wall of wind, and it causes pretty catastrophic situations when they are at higher extreme levels when they happen. So Not saying that's 100% on the table for tomorrow or for Saturday, but we are going to have to watch. You can see the risk zone here. We've got a slight risk zone that goes basically from the central southern plains back here into the Ozarks, into the lower Ohio Valley, into your Friday, and back down here into the southeast here. Now, we'll have a line of storms that's going to be ongoing through the morning hours tomorrow left over from tonight's event, and that will work its way into the Ohio Valley and the Tennessee Valley. I wouldn't be shocked to see a level 3 enhanced risk get introduced somewhere in this catty corner before we get to tomorrow's event being officially, happening. So tomorrow we do have a 2% tornado risk here. It's a little bit lower. This is going to be once again a wind threat, a wind-driven risk zone tomorrow. I expect that. We've got a 2% tornado risk that goes here from our backyard in western Kentucky back down into Tennessee, through the Ozarks here into the plains and back into the Rockies here. Wind threat at 15 and 5%, and hail threat also 15 and 5%, with a hatched hail threat back here where storms are going to initiate along a dry line tomorrow afternoon. We could see hail exceed 2 inches in diameter for that. So have a way to get alerts on your phones today, tomorrow, and on Saturday. We'll get to Saturday's forecast here now, and we do have, once again, another big risk zone on Saturday here. Most of the lower Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and pretty much all of the southeast is under the gun for significant severe weather tomorrow or on Saturday. I wouldn't be shocked to also see a level 3 enhanced risk be introduced somewhere in this area as well going into Saturday's forecast. The probabilities are still a little bit too far out to see the tornado, the wind threat, and the hail threat, but we will have all modes of severe weather here. Kind of looks like a fish the way the risk zone is shaped here. Kind of funny how that looks there, but a level 2 slight risk and a level 1 marginal risk at play. And we also have a marginal risk back down here into the high plains up on the Canada-Minnesota line there. So be mindful of that if you guys are out and about. And then we get to the day 4 through 8 outlook. And guess what, guys? We're not done after that. We get into Sunday here, and we'll have the remnants of of the system that's going to be coming through tomorrow and on Friday, or tomorrow and on Saturday. Moving off the East Coast, we've got a level 2 slight risk back down into eastern North Carolina, eastern South Carolina, eastern Georgia. We'll update on that as that continues to happen. And then we're going to have another MCS day back into the plains on Sunday, where we'll have more severe weather going into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week before things may start to change just a little bit. And I also wouldn't be shocked to see a risk zone be issued somewhere up here in the Midwest. We're going to have a cold front that's going to be coming down out of Canada as well that could bring to some damaging wind and some hail threats. So a lot of severe weather, guys, to get on the table here. Like I mentioned, I will not be live covering today until well after 9 o'clock tonight. So if anything happens, tune into Connor, tune into anybody else that you guys watch weather coverage wise. If he's on, he'll be, covering this stuff in depth for you guys. I will be live covering tomorrow's event. Saturday will not be coverage wise as well. We have got stuff going on Saturday as well. We've got some friends and family coming into town here on Saturday, so we won't be covering Saturday, and then we'll be back again on Sunday. So I cover tonight, cover tomorrow, cover on Sunday. So sorry if that makes anybody upset, but we've got birthday stuff we're planning here, so or things we've got to do this weekend, so we'll be doing that. But other than that, those are our risk zones for you guys. We'll kind of talk about what we're going to be seeing here with our future radar here. I'm going to really walk through today and kind of show a little bit of tomorrow, but we're really going to talk about today in terms of what's going to be happening. It's a little bit more complex. You can see showers and thunderstorms up going here in the Ohio Valley, showers and thunderstorms ongoing through this morning, back down here into northern Texas. Those are already advancing eastward. Those should start to fizzle out as the evening or as the mid-morning into the afternoon gets here. Now, what's going to happen this afternoon is we're going to have a dry line setup. And what that dry line setup is going to do is it's going to allow for discrete supercells to initiate. And any of these discrete supercells that do produce outflow boundaries or, can basically grab onto low-level shear, we'll have a chance at a couple of tornadoes. You can see a couple up here in Kansas, back down here into Texas. And then the large hail and the damaging wind threat will also be on the table here. And this really looks to initiate right around 4 o'clock Central Time. I expect multiple tornado watches to be issued today. Conditions are favorable for tornadoes, clearly severe wind and hail. And then as we go through the evening hours here, right around 6 to 7 p.m., I think is going to be our higher window of higher tornado potential. And I would not be shocked to see SPC issue a 10% hatch tornado risk somewhere in this area here for a strong tornado potential. It's definitely going to be on the table, especially if we can get some of these outflow boundaries going. Just kind of something that we're going to have to watch here for. And then as we progress after 9 p.m., we start to see those supercells kind of fizzle out here. And what I want you guys to see is our main forcing is going to come in after midnight tonight. And what this is going to do is this is going to allow for a significant damaging wind threat for northern and central and eastern Oklahoma tonight. I wouldn't be shocked, like I said, to see that enhanced risk get shifted eastward or expand its southeastward here for a damaging wind threat overnight. So we may have to do well overnight coverage tonight if that does in fact validate. We'll continue to update you guys. I'll continue to watch that as things progress here through the evening hours and once we get back from our dinner tonight. But this does look to be a pretty significant damaging wind threat, and it'll also have the potential for overnight tornadoes. So Tulsa, Oklahoma City, you guys have got to be watching between midnight and about 4 o'clock in the morning tonight through tomorrow morning. We could see a nasty line of storms come through, and then by sunrise this starts to kind of fall apart here in terms of the overall threat. And then we get into tomorrow, and we're going to see more severe weather again, supercells firing off, and eventually at some point again, Oklahoma City, more heavy rainfall, the threat for tornadoes, damaging winds on the table again, and then we kind of start to see this kind of get a little bit more messier in terms of going into Saturday. And we'll talk more about Saturday in the future here. I will mention a couple of things. I haven't got to really get into the severe weather conversation too much because these videos have been having to be on the fly. But instability today, well, more than enough instability. Anywhere from 25 to 4,000 joules per kilogram of instability across the region today. Even instability increasing back into the Ohio Valley for tomorrow's setup. We'll talk about that in the live stream this afternoon and as well as in future videos for tomorrow. But like I said, if you're in the plains today and tomorrow, especially going into this afternoon, it could be a pretty significant day. And I want to show you guys these tornado parameters, and these are all going to be due to outflow boundaries. So storms are going to initiate wind outflow boundaries. It's basically those winds that come out in front of a storm. A line of storms or a supercell. That's what an outflow boundary is. And what that can do is it can enhance low-level moisture and low-level shear in the atmosphere for other storms that pop out in front of it and can help rotate storms in and around the area to produce tornadoes. So that's something we're going to have to watch very, very closely. And you can see after 6 p.m. tonight, those higher tornado parameters, I really think a 10% hatch tornado risk is going to be introduced somewhere in this area here before the evening is over with. The threat for a couple strong tornadoes, EF2 plus on the table, even though SPC does not quite have that outlined yet. I do think that's definitely on the table in terms of today's threat. And you can see well into the evening and overnight hours, guys, we have a very, very interesting catty corner here into central Oklahoma for violent tornado potential. So if there are any storms or complexes ongoing in Oklahoma tonight, well after 11 p.m., we could see the threat for strong tornadoes and maybe even an intense tornado if that does in fact happen here in terms of the late evening overnight hours. So we'll have to watch that. And then we get into tomorrow and we have another area of significant tornado parameters tomorrow. And we'll talk more about that in tomorrow's video. But I do think the next 2 days, really even going into Saturday and Sunday, are going to be pretty significant in terms of severe weather. And we'll have to keep you guys updated on that, and we definitely will for sure. Here's just kind of a brief update here. I've talked about this the last 2 days in terms of what we're going to see for the next couple of days. You can continue to see we're going to have what's called zonal flow here. This is going to allow for severe weather across a good region here, going through tomorrow, going through Saturday, going through Sunday here, and really that doesn't really end until we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week. We're going to have an actual low pressure system that's going to work its way down out of Canada, and this is where I think that there's going to be a chance for some severe weather back down into the Midwest, the plains, and the Ohio Valley going into Monday and Tuesday. It'll probably be a damaging wind threat as typical and a hail threat. There will be probably some isolated tornado threat with that. There will also be some cool temperatures that come in with this as well briefly as that trough comes down. And then we get into the end of next week and things just get a little bit uncertain here, but I do think severe weather will continue to be a factor, especially as we go to this week and into next week of June. And then after that, things get a little bit more uncertain. You guys can see going into the 3rd and 4th week of June, we've got just a lot of different things going on here. And we'll talk more about that as we get into the future here. One more thing I will show you guys going to be the precip. I like to show this just because it gives you guys an idea of how much rain we're going to see over the next 7 days here. And you can really see where that bullseye is going to be for severe weather and where the heavy rainfall is going to be at. Here along the East Coast where we've got that tropical disturbance at, or subtropical / tropical disturbance, and you can really see the plains, the Ozarks, and the Tennessee Valley getting hammered through the next 7 days here for heavy rainfall, anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rainfall, maybe 5+ inches locally in some of these areas, and then back down here into the Southeast, we could see also some significant 3 to 5 inch rainfall totals. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I'm going to get this video posted out to you guys. I'm going to get a live stream in here in the next 2 hours to give you guys an actual talk, kind of go a little bit slower, talk about things that are going to happen today, and then I'll see you guys back again later on tonight for weather coverage if we need to, in fact, be on, and I'm sure we probably will have to be. So I'm going to go enjoy my birthday, guys. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the birthday wishes as always. I'll see you guys later on. Be safe, be weather aware, know where to go when you get warnings, and we'll see you guys in the next one.